Perfect. It works. Appreciate it.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. Keller Williams exclusive Pittsburgh. I don't think I've been to your market center yet, but it's great to be with you virtually. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for staying on. We promise, Jonathan and I promise you, this will be worth your time. Hopefully for many of you, really a highlight of today as far as training is concerned, because we want to make this really something that you can apply immediately, not just down the road, but how can you get more listings right now for the rest of the month and going into February. So introductions first. My name is Christoph. I'm VP at Landvoice for 10 years now. Landvoice has been the top lead provider in the nation for 30 years. And our specialty is to provide our clients with seller leads. So today we're going to share with you a lot of insight that we have gained during COVID. Now we call it now after COVID, even though it seems to be lingering on with different names, but the landscape has changed quite a bit. We're still suffering from low inventory. There's indications that we may have that for a while. So what can we do right now to get more listings while other agents are struggling? We want you to be completely different. We don't want you to have to call on people just from your past clients or neighborhood if you have nobody else in your neighborhood to call. We want to really open it up for you that you have plenty of seller leads to get listings from right now. And that is a case actually. And with me is Jonathon Metoyer, one of our data experts and top trainers at Landvoice.
Hello. Hey guys, I'm Jonathon Metoyer. I'm one of the head trainers here at Landvoice. Really excited to be here today. As Christoph mentioned, we have a lot of great information to share with you. What scripts are working the best, when to make the calls, what objections to be on the lookout for. I've been working here at the company for a little under a decade now, and I really enjoy helping agents build a duplicatable process that they can throw into gear every morning. So thank you guys for being here. I know you're ready to learn. Let's have a great workshop today.
Thank you, Jonathan, so much. We also have ways for you to participate and get the most out of this. If you use the chat feature, we will look at those chats and answer the questions. We will also probably maybe answer a few live questions. And also, we have a text service basically where you can text your top counties, zip codes to, and we do a personal data lookup for you absolutely free. That is one of the great values you get out of this webinar. And of course, please take notes, take screenshots of the scripts. We're gonna go through it quickly. There won't be much time to stop and have everybody write everything down. So take screenshots, whatever you can do to capture the content. We even created a download link for you, absolutely free. You can download all the videos, ebooks, and dialogues we're going to share with you today. Make sure you do that after the webinar, not during the webinar, so you don't get distracted. The data we're going to share with you today, we looked at all your counties that we were given by your market center: Allegheny, Butler, Beaver, Washington County. If there's any county not on here, we can look up the data for you by texting us to the phone number we're going to share with you in a second again. What are the 5 top lead sources right now to get listings? What are the predictable ones, right? Consistent ones. And one of them is expireds. You may argue and say, well, you know what? I think a lot of people are doing that. Why should I get into the expired game? And how can I differentiate myself to actually get listings from expireds when so many other agents are calling with the same message? So Jonathan will tackle that one. That is a really important lead source right now.
Absolutely. I think more important than ever, it's all about differentiating yourself. And one of the things that I've learned here at Landvoice, working here for the last decade, it's a lot more about timing, right, than realtors think. Expireds have one hand in the air saying they want to sell their house. We all know that, right? They have another hand in the air saying they're willing to pay us commission. So if we can get to these sellers early, if we have the cell phone numbers handed over to us on a silver platter, pretty much, we can do our research. We can beat our competitions to the sellers. It's no secret that most expireds are going to list with a new agent this time around. 70% of the time when you're first to communicate with one of these sellers, you actually get the listing appointment. So that percentage, that number is just way too high to ignore. And that's exactly why we're in business and how we're going to help you get listings every single week. You give me the name of your MLS, okay? And every single morning by 6 a.m., we're filtering in every expired, every cancel, and every withdrawal. You're going to see the names of each owner if you look closely. If you look to the right, you'll see the cell phone numbers that we match up to each of them. And of course, we're running those cell phone numbers through the state and the federal do not call registry to keep you safe. So if it's on the do not call, that means do not call, but it doesn't mean do not approach, right? So we're also excited to share email addresses and even social media for a lot of these expired. So be on the lookout for that. Another thing that we're going to do to help you guys save time so you're not going back and forth inside your MLS, we're going to track every one of these statuses. So if a property lists or if it goes active inside your MLS, that status right here in the middle changes and you know not to communicate with that seller. So this will help us stay focused. We don't have to do the research. All we have to do is carve out the time, pick out the properties that we want to get to, and make those calls. Another thing that we can't stress enough are a few tips. On the first of every single month, we're going to see 3 to 4 times more expireds on the first of the month. With inventory being tight, it's important that we acknowledge that on the first, we're going to have a lot more expireds with listing contracts ending right towards the end of the month. So be prepared on the first of the month. It's not weird for our clients to sometimes schedule 2, maybe even 3 listing appointments because of that influx of data. Now, we always do our absolute best to be the first agent to contact the expired. Another thing we can't stress enough is leading with value. The first thing out of our mouth really should not be why we think their listing expired and what steps we're going to take to make sure it sells right away. If we lead with value, if we give them some impactful tips that they can jot down, if they see that we're coming from an angle of contribution, it's much easier to get these listing appointments scheduled. And here at Landvoice, we're great duplicators, great copycatters. So I want to show you a script that's working incredibly well throughout the country, and also some tips that you can convey when you're talking to expireds to really show them, that you're here to help. So let's go through this quickly. Hello, this is Jonathon, a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. I'm calling you first thing this morning to let you know you're going to be getting a lot of calls out there today. As you probably know, your listing expired as of 12 o'clock midnight last night. I have a question for you. Did your agent tell you this would happen? So now's the time for me to zip it. I don't know if you guys know this, but about 8 times out of 10, it's a lot more of a coaching call than you would expect. You're going to hear things like, you know what, I'm really not aware of what you're talking about. I haven't spoken with my agent in about a week and a half, but they didn't say today would be any different than yesterday. So just soak it all in, gather everything that they're telling you. Okay, well, that's exactly why I'm calling today. I wanted to give you a few important tips that are really going to help you throughout today and the rest of the week. You're going to receive anywhere from 30 to 50 phone calls on any phone a realtor could find for you. I have a question. Would it be helpful if I gave you some tips to jot down that would keep agents from ever calling you in the first place? Or better yet, if they did call you, to keep them from calling you back? That would be helpful, right? Do me a favor, grab a sheet of paper, a pen, whatever you want to take some notes down. I want to give you some tips that would diffuse the calls completely. Okay, tip number 1. Do you use your cell phone for business a lot? You don't? Okay, good. I want you to record a quick voicemail on your cell phone, and I want you to tell every realtor who's calling you that you know your listing expired last night. You're already interviewing your top 2 agents, and you would hope that they never call you back. The reason why this tip works, when a realtor hears that voicemail, right away they know that this expired's been coached. That lead is pushed in the trash, if not turned on the very cold side. So great tip for them to implement if they're not using their cell phone for business. Another good tip, guys, I like this one. We want to ask the expired, acknowledge that their phone number is not on the do not call, right? Because we're talking to them and you're complying with the do not call. So acknowledge that and then let the expired know, hey, did you know your phone number is not on the national do not call registry? They usually respond with the obvious. Okay, what's that? Give me some more info. And tell them that this is a national database they can add their phone numbers to absolutely free of charge. I would take it as far as even giving them the website. Say, here's a separate text message with the URL for the do not call. It's www.donotcall.gov. And I would love for you to add your cell phone because it's not on the do not call, your spouse's cell phone because I see it's not here on the do not call, and everybody in your cell phone plan, even your children. Keep everyone protected. And if you should get any calls from realtors on those numbers, you should give them a warning. Say, hey, I'm on the do not call. You should have a filter that tells you this. I would love to never hear back from you again. This is a great tip because not only does it block a lot of competition, they really, really appreciate that information that you supply them with, right? This is totally empowering them on every conversation they have with an agent. So don't forget that. Great tip. And tip number 3, this is how we get the listing. I want you guys to do a side-by-side analysis of that listing. Here's what I mean. Look at the photos that they put in MLS. If you've had better photos on previous listings, include them in your report. I know I've seen some pretty crummy photos. Look at the description they entered in MLS. I've seen a lack of imagination, misspelled words. If you can jazz that up and make it much stronger, include that in your report. Did they do drone videos on this listing? Have you guys done them on previous listings, right? Do you have a special drone photographer that you sometimes go with? You're catching my drift here. We're gonna literally break down everything that this realtor did, explain what we would do better if this were our listing today. And let's ask for the listing appointment. Here's one thing that we've learned. If they jotted down those tips, and I'm sure you guys maybe shared some jokes, learned a little bit about each other. If they're jotting down those tips and they're still on the phone with you after you finished explaining, you have the listing presentation. We're gonna ask the seller if we can drop off this report right now, especially before they talk to their realtor, their previous realtor. It's gonna help them hold their realtor accountable, right? As to why their listing sat on the market for so long. So this is how our agents are calling expireds in the morning. We're early, right? We have the correct cell phone information and we lead with value. What I can tell you you'll get out of this, if you can lead generate for at least 4 days out of the week, we're gonna do around 2, maybe even 3 transactions a month. If we're consistently lead generating the daily expireds, that's what our clients are averaging on the low side. Once you get better with your scripts and your objections, of course, that number climbs. You only get better. But 2 listings out of the gates, it's a good start. It's a good start, but it's not enough. Not in your market. We were reviewing a lot of the older expireds in your MLS that have not resurfaced. And my gosh, there is a lot of opportunity when you dig back deep. And all of you have known, you've known what your market's done in the last year and a half, right? It's been crazy. Christoph, explain why old expireds is the hottest lead source in their market, hands down. Oh, you're on mute.
All right. Yeah, if I personally would be in your market, that is a niche that I would gravitate to right now. Why old expireds and how old? Well, old expireds are expireds that gave up on the market a while ago when inventory was a lot higher and home values were a lot lower, right? So the further you go back, the more that is the case. Old expireds don't know the current value of the home, and there's virtually no competition when you go back as far as 2019. That's our recommendation. We have even some clients that go back to 2018 and get listings where everybody else just gave up on.
You hit the mute button again, I think.
Okay, in Alenquer County, 2 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, we had $162,000 average home.
I'm not sure what's happening. It keeps on muting though.
It went up to 33%, $215,000. So 53% appreciation. That is incredible, right? Especially good news for the homeowner who expired 2 years ago. Because today, when they put their home in the market, obviously, they can sell it for more money. So let's look at the graph and see how we can use this graph and this knowledge to our advantage. Here's a graph that shows you where they have been, and here it shows you where they are today. I typically show the graph and say, no, look, last time when you expired, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry you went through that experience, not being able to sell your home in the time frame you expected to. But look what happened to your home value today. And there's a reward, there's a payout for you for having waited. So now is the best time. You can do the same in Butler County. You'll see how like a hockey stick, it goes up in each one of your counties in your area towards the beginning and the end of 2021. Even 2019, it started climbing. So how can we win big with old expireds? Because obviously you need technology to have all the data for them. So let's make it easy. With daily expireds, low inventory, high competition, yes, it's a grind if you go against competition, but not so much if you call early. If you call by 8 o'clock, so if you have the right cell phone number, like Landvoice gives it to you by 8 o'clock, you beat the competition and you can get the listing appointments. With old expireds, the story is totally different. You don't even have competition. You don't have to call by 8 o'clock in the morning. Just call any day that is convenient for you and the homeowner, and you will find that they haven't heard from agents probably in a year and a half, 2 years. What is important for you is technology, that, like I just mentioned. If you want to do it on your own, the scrubbing and taking out all the short sales, foreclosures, active, solds, find the phone number, do an absentee owner lookup, well, you better hire somebody to do that for you. I don't want you to do that because it costs you too much money, too much time. We have a technology as the only company in the United States that automatically does all the work for you, makes it super easy for you. We remove all the foreclosures, actives, and solds out of any zip code, out of any past year. So I would actually pick your top 4 counties, pick the year 2019, give it to us. Let's get you those leads first. Then we add the cell phone numbers to it. We do an absentee owner lookup and give you the name and the address and the phone number where the absentee owner lives for all of your counties. I mean, for all of your zip codes. That's a lot of work on our part, but the technology helps a lot. So, and then we make that those leads exclusive to you, to only one agent per zip code and year. So you can truly call without competition. What script can you use to make sure that you don't turn them off or you come across as annoying? You want to come across as an expert for 2019. And here you go. Here is how you do it. Hi, my name is Christoph. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. I did some research and it looks like you tried selling your home back in 2019. Is that right? And they will tell you a sob story, you know, then COVID came along, we didn't put it on the market and it was horrible. Well, I'm glad that you're saying that because I actually specialize in bringing exactly those homes back on the market today that didn't sell in the last couple of years. That's my expertise. That's what I do all day long. And your home is one of those that falls in this category. Did you know how much home prices have risen since you took your home off the market? Have you thought about selling your home again this year? And listen to the response, but don't answer the questions over the phone. I cannot stress it enough. You need to get to the kitchen table. So simply say this: I would love to provide you with a free home evaluation and show you some comparable houses that recently sold in the area. I think you will be very surprised at how much you can sell for right now. I have this report ready. Can I drop it off right now, or would this afternoon or evening work better for you? You will get one of those times because, like I said, they don't know the current value of the home for sure, and they haven't heard from agents in a while. So exciting stuff, but don't miss a boat. Old Expireds has a time frame, and we predict here at Landvoice, at our data experts, that by the end of February, I would say by March, most old expireds from 2019, 2020, and 2021 will either be active or sold. So Jonathon will tell you now how you make sure you don't miss a boat and you pick the right zip codes.
Well, that's exactly what we want from you. We want to know what your top 4 zip codes are that you work the strongest. Whatever comes to mind when I say, hey, what do you want to know if there are old expireds that haven't relisted? It's free research that we want to do. And as soon as you send those zip codes, we're going to reserve them underneath your name because they're exclusive. So it's a first come, first serve on those zip codes. Once we verify that they're available, we're going to dig into the inventory and make sure your zip codes are just busting with properties that haven't relisted. So send those 4 zip codes to this cell phone number here. That's 801-582-9459. We'd love to supply that free update to you and let you know exactly, let you know if it's a good fit or not. Really, that's exactly what we want to do. We want, before you decide to move forward with it, let us scrub it, let us dig into it and let you know if there's a lot of inventory that hasn't relisted in your top areas. We're going to jump into for sale by owners right now. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's been a huge influx of for sale by owners in your market. For sale by owners are really not like they're just like every other seller. They're wanting to cash in, they're wanting to get offers and maybe move to a bigger home now, or downsize, right size, whatever size. They want to see those zeros in their bank account, just like any other owner. So there's a huge influx of data. Christoph and I, we run into so many agents on the road that tell us they find FSBOs online, Craigslist, Zillow, you name it, right? They're finding it, then they're getting the phone numbers from title maybe, and then they're cross-referencing the data themselves. I mean, that's a job within a job. There's a much easier way to have a stronger pulse on your market. And all we need from you are your top 2 to 3 counties that you work the strongest. So I said counties, right? We want to pull as much data as we can for you. And the leads filter in just like your expireds every single morning at 6 a.m. You're going to see, again, the names of each owner. You'll see the cell phone numbers that match up to those owners. And of course, we run those cell phone numbers through the do not call. A great thing about these FSBO leads is we're also going to be tracking the statuses. So if a property lists or if it sells inside your MLS, we're going to keep a current status and let you know if you're able to call them or not, which is great because the FSBO leads, they end up kind of becoming like fine wine, right? The older they get, the less realtors are going after them, the better the lead is. And that's why you have a calendar right here on the left-hand side. This calendar is going to allow you not to go back just 2 months or 4 months, but it allows you to go back 6 months. And we're going to show you every for sale by owner in a 6-month time period who haven't listed with a realtor. And like I was saying, guys, a lot of FSBOs filtering in. And the last 30 days, and just so you know, this is not normal. It's not normal. 30 days, 73 FSBOs. 60 days, 129. Last 6 months, 441. That's exactly what's happening in your top areas. So we could capitalize. Since we know what's happening, we know FSBOs are more than likely not going to be able to sell their house. In fact, about 90% of these FSBOs are going to turn into a listing. The question is, are they going to be yours? So here's what I want you to get out of this. Let's change our dialogue. There's so many realtors going after for sale by owners right now that FSBOs get a little tired of the same type of scripts and propositions that they're hearing. That's why when you call FSBOs, if you're using the same type of dialogue to get your foot in the door and FSBOs are shutting you down quickly, it's because they've heard that song and dance before. We call it toddler feedback from the FSBO. No, I'll do it myself, click. And that's if they're being nice. There's a much easier way, and it's leading with value. Tony Robbins says, if you add the value, you will become the brand, right? Find a way to add more value than anyone else. And this definitely fits Keller Williams culture. I want to go through a script that's working incredibly well throughout the country. It's all driven off of value, but it helps us convert FSBOs like clockwork. Here we go. Hello, my name's Jonathan, and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty. First things first, I'm not calling you to try to get a listing, okay? I'm positive you're getting several calls from agents out there trying to list your house. Just want you to know that's not why I'm calling. I have a 24-hour for sale by owner system that I want to offer to you that's going to help you sell your home for free. This system's going to help you track and generate all of your buyer leads. It basically will ensure that you never miss an opportunity to follow up with any of these leads. We'll even instantly pre-qualify every buyer for a loan, so you're only opening up your property to serious pre-qualified buyers. And it's absolutely free of charge. Absolutely free. And I already know what you're thinking. There's got to be a catch, right? What's in it for me? Why am I doing it? Well, there is a catch. There is something that I get off of helping you find the right buyer that's going to buy your home. And I've developed a video that I'm going to text to you, a short 1.5-minute video that not only is going to show you the free marketing that we give you, it's going to explain to you how I benefit from helping you find the right buyer. So watch this short video. If you love what you hear, just text me back a time and I'll come over and do a demonstration for you.
So you want to sell your home on your own? Great. Here's how I can help you sell your home without listing with me or any other agent, and I'll help you for free. I will give you access to a technology that is currently being used by the top agents in the country to sell houses faster and at higher prices than ever before. Here's how it works. I will give you your very own toll-free number with unlimited extensions to use on your ads, flyers, yard signs, social media, or anything else you use to advertise your property. This will drive significantly more potential buyers and free up your time in the process. For example, put this new toll-free number and extension on your for sale by owner sign When a buyer calls the 800 number and enters the extension for your property, they will hear a beautiful property commercial I've had professionally recorded for you for free. Now, at the end of this recording, the buyer will hear your asking price and have the opportunity to press a button to speak with you directly, set up a showing, or submit an offer. And here's the really cool part. When the buyer hangs up, the system captures their information and the extension they called, then you receive an instant text message or email with that information. Now, if you want, you can follow up with that buyer at the peak of their interest. I will also give you a professionally created property flyer with your photos, property information, and your new 800 number for free. You can print this or use this flyer to post your house on websites like Facebook or Craigslist. All this marketing will open your house to many more buyers and help you sell your home faster and for more money. The best part about this is that you don't need any extra hardware or software. All you need is your cell phone. You are probably wondering why I do all this for free. Well, since only one buyer can purchase your home, I would like to work with the rest of the buyers who don't purchase your home. I get to help them buy other homes in the area. See how this system can help both of us? You sell your home on your own, and I get access to more potential buyers and sellers. In addition, working together will give me an opportunity to demonstrate to you the value I can bring in helping you sell your home. So if you ever do decide to list with an agent, I'd like to be the first considered. I know you will love this technology. It's simple, fantastic, and it works. If you're ready, let's get started.
Alrighty. So I hope you loved that process, that program, just as much as we do. One of the things that you guys will find here at Landvoice, we're all about making things easier. We're all about helping you get more listings and getting those listings more consistently. What we found out with this value proposition, it's really knocking the roof off the house, giving it to FSBOs for free. I'm sure all of you guys caught it. It's reverse psychology, really, right? We lead with value to get our foot in the door. We build a relationship, and converting these FSBOs into listings comes quite easy once we have that connection with them. The best part about this program and all of the FSBO leads that you're getting is this video does all of the work for you. You're literally just going to text this video to each of those for sale by owner cell phone numbers that we're providing you. And about half of them are going to tell you that this is awesome. I want you to come over and show me how this works. They're also going to ask you, are you sure this is for free? What do I have to pay? The answer to that is nothing, right? I want to come over and show you how this works. If you want to use it, it's yours. Once the FSBO invites you over for an appointment, our company does a beautiful recording on this system. It literally sounds like a Super Bowl commercial. And we also find the photos and the description of that property online. And we make a flyer for you and we send it out within 24 hours. So this is turnkey. We don't care how many FSBOs you work with. You get one toll-free number, but unlimited extensions with this system. So you can work with how many FSBOs as you can handle. This is the easiest way to convert for sale by owners effortlessly. Lead with value and you will become the brand. You're also going to be generating a ton of buyers and sellers with this system. And we've developed a tracking platform that you can log into that literally will show you every one of those buyer leads produced off your signs. And it'll show you down to the duration, how long the buyers sat there and listened to the recording so you can gauge how serious they are. And this is helping our clients get their foot in the door with FSBOs left and right. It's helping them generate more buyers than they can handle. It's a great program in an area like yours with a huge influx of FSBOs, right? I'm sure you guys agree. We're also using this for listings as well to make your job easier. And again, it's all about making it easier. If you had a listing appointment with an expired or pre-foreclosure, or let's say you had a referral that dropped on your lap, you send us the address and we rip up all of this marketing, a postcard, a door hanger, and a flyer, and of course, a nice professional recording. And that's done within 24 hours for any property you're targeting for a listing. We know that this is going to help you present more often. We know it's going to help you not neglect any other personal responsibilities. And that's what it's all about. Make sure you download this ebook. It's a game changer. 10 listings in 7 days. Literally a step-by-step success formula to converting FSBOs and expireds into listings leading with value. So when you go through the downloads, look out for 10 listings in 7 days. A webinar could not be completed without showing you guys the opportunity you have in your market with pre-foreclosures, and also showing you how we can help these owners cash in and get listings doing it. Win-win on both sides. Christoph, explain why pre-foreclosures is going to be very relevant this year.
Yes, so we predicted actually last year that there would be a wave of pre-foreclosures coming in as the moratorium will come to an end. And it has happened, right? We already know that with the end of the moratorium, the number has climbed. Now, what is a good data source for pre-foreclosure leads? Because there are many public data out there, you don't get the phone number, but you get name and address. Well, at Landvoice, we give you everything very accurately. So every morning, you get all your new pre-foreclosures with name, address, phone number, scrubbed against the do not call to be safe and compliant. And you get a date range, a calendar, where you can go back as far as you want. So obviously, you probably don't need to go back, 5-6 years. You could, but I would go back to the beginning of the moratorium and see how many I can find. And I did a little research in your area, and I found that in the last 60 days, I got 64 brand new ones. But here's a big thing. Since the beginning of January, exactly, in 2020, 2 years ago, 869 pre-foreclosure leads in your Landvoice platform right now. Okay, so you can get overly excited and say, oh my gosh, I know the perfect script. What I'm going to tell them is I'm going to tell them that the home went into foreclosure and I don't want them to go that route. Let me help you. I want to basically help you out of this situation. Guys, this is the right heart, right? I mean, you want to help them, but you cannot just say that over the phone. You will lose them if you call them out on the fact that they missed mortgage payments, they have financial distress. It's very embarrassing if a stranger calls with that message. We have one Keller Williams client in Tampa, Florida. Her name is Christina Griffin, and she uses a script very different. It's just a neighborhood script, really. But she uses it for pre-foreclosure and has tremendous success with it. In fact, 64 closings every quarter of pre-foreclosures. And it all starts with this sentence. Hi, I'm calling everybody in my neighborhood right now because home prices are up. And I was wondering, if you were offered the right price for your home, would you be willing to sell? Now, remember, you're not calling a random person. This is not a cold call, really. This is calling on a lead that has thought about selling their home, because almost every pre-foreclosure goes through the process of saying, what are my options? Selling a home is one of them. How much is my home worth? And here you are asking the right question without embarrassing them. You can also change it up and say, I know your home isn't for sale right now, but have you ever thought about selling? And they will think, oh my gosh, this person can read my mind. Why? How do they know that, right? And they will ask you questions to know if you know the value of the home. Again, don't tell them over the phone. Make sure you actually come by and drop off in the CMA and make that a listing appointment. You can have a lot of success right now, get a lot of listings from pre-foreclosures, and it's very rewarding because you're helping somebody through a traumatic, difficult time and have them come out as a winner in the end. So download the scripts. We have videos for you as well on this website. This is all free stuff for you that we put together for you. We want to move now into our fifth and last lead source, geo-farming. And I have some agents that tell me, wait a minute, is it a lead source or is it a nurturing source, a farming source, right? Where we build our brand in our neighborhood. Actually, it is a lead source because we know that listings have babies. If you connect with the neighbors out of any property where you have an open house, just listed, just sold, any real estate activity, whether it's you or your competition, and you connect with the neighbors, you will pick up listings by the law that I just mentioned. Listings have babies. Usually in a 1.5 mile radius, 2 or 3 deals will go up as a direct correlation to that activity right here, smack middle in that neighborhood. So take advantage of that. What you need is the data of the homeowners. So we actually have a system that we worked on for 2 years. I'm going to show you exactly what it does right now. Our all new neighborhood search program. You basically draw a polygon boundary around any neighborhood where you want to have the data for. I typically pick a neighborhood, not more than 500 homes, so it's manageable, and around the property that just went up for sale or just listed, right? Then I say, okay, I'm looking for single family homes, condos, whatever you want to target, you can specify in our tool, click submit, and here's a magic. you are getting the phone numbers, including cell phone numbers for those neighbors. Most other neighborhood search programs that you have out there, they don't give you that high level data that you're getting right here. We actually give you not only that, but also the information about the home, like the address, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, owner occupied, yes or no, commercial numbers, landlines, and we give you up to 3,000 records a month. So that means in 1 quarter, you can pick up 3,000 additional homeowners and add them to your database. That is a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not by coincidence that we agree with Gary Keller when he says your database is your business. If your database is strong, it's growing, it's being nurtured, and it's actually correct, not incorrect data, you can be the king of the hill in your neighborhood. So up to 3 numbers per record, and you can search 1 address or up to 3,000 every single month. We put all of these lead sources, we talked about 5, together in 1 bundle for you. So you're never left high and dry. You always have leads to call. You always have listings. I actually challenge my clients, get 1 listing appointment a day, and it is not difficult for them by calling on the leads that we give them in this bundle. We call it the Elite Bundle. Regular on our website, it's $19.97 with all those leads, expireds, FISBOs, pre-foreclosures, neighborhood search, call capture, and the training. At this webinar, we give it to you for half price, and this is the best deal ever. You can really take advantage of this, and it will not go up next year. It will actually stay at that price year after year at half price. We have only 7 seats at this half price for your market center. We don't want it to be oversaturated, and we figure that the number 7 allows you to basically have your area for yourself. Text us the word ELITE 801-582-9459 so we can consider you as one of those 7. Trust me, this is the best deal you will ever find. We hope you take advantage of it. Not only that, but also the first 7 will get a completely free old expired zip code and year. And you were probably already thinking when we talked about old expireds, it sounds very expensive. Well, it's not very much. It's $250, but for the first 7 of you, you get it for free. And that is for the entire year. You don't pay any additional fee whatsoever. So again, if you text us the word ELITE, we will consider you for that. Here's a number again. And Jonathan, that brings us to the end of this webinar. For you, the end of this training session. We promised we would check the chat. Is there anything that we didn't answer yet? We try to answer as much as possible.
Nope. Checking the chat, everything's good. We've gotten text messages from you guys that we have already started to research on. So thank you for your proactiveness. I hope you guys have something here, or you found something here that we can put into gear right away. With those 5 lead sources, it's going to be easy to stay diversified. Our average realtor prospecting those lead sources monthly, we're doing around 3 to 5 transactions a month with all of those lead sources together. So there's no doubt in Christoph in my mind that you'll be able to crush it with what we just went over. All we need is a commitment and some consistency out of you. And the training is going to be paired with the leads, so we have your back. I think all of you who stayed here on the webinar heard the special and is looking to take action. If you guys have any additional questions, Christoph and I will reach out to you individually and make sure those questions are answered. Thank you guys again for allowing us to present.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Andrea.
No, thank you so much. I personally learned so much about expired listings, foreclosure, and I actually texted that number and I put in the forward zip codes, and I was on the MLS. I was testing it out, and it's honestly, guys, for your business, I can't see why you would not invest in something like this. You know, I'm not an agent, so you know, as a team leader, I don't sell houses, and really as a leader, we're not allowed to be in that role as far as selling homes. But I think for you guys, I think, why not? I think it's a good investment if it's something that you can afford, and if it's going to help your business propel. I think it's a good start as far as calling on those expired leads. I do have a question though, with some of these expired leads, like, so they were active at one point and then now they're not active, correct? So how accurate is it in the actual system? Do you guys update it right away?
So Yes, every single morning, there's going to be new expireds that filter in by 6 a.m. with listing contracts ending, at 12 o'clock midnight every day. So in the morning at 6 a.m., the leads filter in the data, 90% accurate cell phone numbers. So you guys could really expect to not hit any roadblocks or dead ends with our platform. We use the same database private detectives, state officials, attorneys use. So the data is literally spot on. We're very surprised if a phone number is not working. And then the statuses. We're cross-referencing every status to your MLS. So every night at 12 o'clock midnight, our system runs through each address, changes the statuses, so your agents know not to communicate with those individuals. So the statuses are spot on. Sometimes an agent will call a lead before we change the status, but we're working on doing that in real time and not at 12 o'clock midnight. But a lot of our training will teach the agents what to expect, how to be careful, and call the right leads. Great question, Andrew.
No, I love it. I love that you have that script. Is that script going to be available for our agents? Is that something that you guys can email us?
Of course.
Yeah,
we're really big on script calling, and we actually try to practice that in our office. So.
Oh, heck yeah. Scripts work if you work them. I love it.
I mean, as you know, in my role in recruitment, that's a big thing that we use as team leaders. So I think this training was really wonderful, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you guys for having us. We're looking forward to talking with you guys that are ready to use Landvoice. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye, Lana.
Bye.